Okay, so I would like for you to be into volume 2 of your textbook, and you want to go to page 667, and you will see part B here. What I would like for you to do is you'll see that it has the quadratic equation here, and I want you to complete part B. I want you to notice your window range here. Once you bring up your calculator, this is telling you what to set your window at. So you want to go to your window here, and it tells you that the x value should be negative 10, which we have already. And then the y minimum should be negative 10, but you should change the y maximum to 30. And then you might want to change the scale, since we have a 40 or increments between negative 10 and 30. So we might want to go ahead and just change this to 2. And so you're going to go ahead and put in your equation, and then I want you to fill out your or your y values here, and figure out and fill out what the vertex and the zeros and the y-intercept are. So remember to get to your y values, that's table. So you want to hit second graph, and that'll help you fill in those values. So pause the video for a moment and go ahead and fill in those pieces. Next, I want you to go down to the next page where you see this cute looking guy. The quadratic functions are written in vertex form is what it says here. Vertex form is going to be what we're looking at now. Vertex form is when the quadratic equation, and you know this is quadratic because it has the squared to the second power, looks like it's in this. So far we have been used to what's called standard form. Make sure you're writing this note into your book as I am writing it. So you should know the standard form is ax squared, and the squared tells you it's the parabola, plus bx plus c. And so far we know that if the a value or the leading coefficient is positive, that means the parabola is going to face up and the arrows are pointing in the positive infinity direction. We know if a is negative, the parabola is going to be facing down. Its arrows are going towards the negative direction. So think of negative, arrows pointing negative. When a is positive, arrows are going up or opening up and opening down. Then we also know that the c value is our y-intercept. Those should be things that you can be able to tell me. These are things that we've learned so far. So there are some advantages to having it in standard form. We know what a is. That tells us whether it opens up or down. And then our c tells us what the y-intercept are. However, we can take this standard form and put it into what's called this vertex form here. And that's what the problem was that we just did. I just cut and pasted this. But if you look, this problem we did above is in vertex form. And you can see that the a is negative 2, and that still will tell you if it's opening up or down. So this is negative, so it opens down. However, we have an h value, which is negative 1.5 squared, and then we also have the k value, which is 24.5. Okay, so I want you to go back up to the top of the page and see if you can find the connection here. What does this number and this number, where can you find those in the problem above? This is your h and this is your k. So go back up. Where does h and k fall in the problem that you did above up here? Well, you should have found already that the vertex was 1.5, rounded to 1.5, and 24.5. Okay, and then of course you should have found it open down like that, and then you should have the zeros and the y-intercept. So you should see that these numbers match what's in h and what's in k of the vertex, or in this case it's the maximum. So looking here, it says, what does the h represent in the vertex form of the equation? So your h is this, which we found above was our x value in the vertex. So h is your x value. It says, what does k represent in the quadratic function in vertex form? Well, we found that 24.5 is in place of the k, and that is the y value of our vertex, or our maximum. Okay, so fill those in. What key characteristics can determine directly from the quadratic function when it's written vertex form? So you just want to put in words what we found up here, what the k and the h mean in vertex form. Okay. So go ahead and pause the video and take a minute to fill out 8, 9, and 10. Then we want to go down the page a little bit to where we have Simone, Teresa, Jesse, Leon, and David are working on the problem, okay? And so it says, write a quadratic function that represents a parabola that opens upward, and the vertex is -6, -4, okay? And it says opens upward, okay? So if it's opening up, we know that it's opening up, it's going like this. Oops. And that means it's pointing to the positive infinity. So that means my a must be greater than 0, or it's positive, right? So we want to look at this vertex form. So our vertex form, like we have up here, is ax minus h squared plus k. Well, we know that this is going to be your h, and this is going to be your k. And we know a has to be positive. So take a minute and look at these and figure out which ones will work with our quadratic function. Pause the video, look at them, circle the ones that you think work. Okay, so let's look at Simone. Simone has a as a 3, so that works because a has to be greater than 0. But my vertex is at -6 for the h. And remember, when we plug in -6 here, we'll have a negative, which should make this a +6. And this has a +6. And then this has -4 for the k. So if we look up here, this should be -4. So that should be -4. So this one will work. Simone's works. Okay. If we look at this one, again, this is positive. We have the plus, and then we have a -4. So again, that will work. Jesse's can't work. It's got a negative, so that means it's going like this. So his will not work. Will David work? Here's my a. What's in place here when there's no a? 1. So again, is this positive? Yes. Do we have +6, -4? Yes. So David's will work also. And then here, Leon, we have a positive here, which is good. However, this says -6. So that means that my h, or my x value in my vertex, was a +6. And that's not true. Our h up here was a -6. So Leon's will not work. Okay. So what I wanted you to do is have an understanding of what vertex form is. So make sure you understand and write yourself little notes that it's ax minus h squared plus k. It needs to be in this format, where a remains the same thing as we had in standard form. However, h and k are the x and the y of the vertex, and that's why it's called vertex form. So make sure you have your notes, make sure you filled in 8, 9, and 10, and marked which students were correct and incorrect on here. And then we'll be ready to go tomorrow morning. And I'm sporting my new medal for you today from the Arnold Classic Gold. Isn't that a great color? See you in the morning.